Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast, episode 16. So, today we talked about a whole host of things. We kind of didn't have any singular focus, so we talked about some lighthearted, silly bullshit, and then we got into institutional racism and ended with the Church of Satan, as all good podcast episodes do. Ben Shapiro was sprinkled in there for a little bit. We talked about pain pills and a little bit about the opioid epidemic. And yeah, so fun-filled episode, a little something for everyone. Hope you enjoy the hell out of it. Thank you as always for listening and sitting down and hanging with us for about an hour. Love the shit out of you. And we hope you enjoy the fuck out of this episode. So, without any further ado, the Danger Zone Podcast, episode 16.
Highway to the danger zone. I'm gonna take it right into the danger zone. Highway to the danger zone.
Yeah, kids, man, oh, they're so lucky they're cute and they know, they learn tricks and they're adorable and sweet sometimes. Because, god damn it.
I don't know if I know any tricks, actually.
Oh, they know tricks. They know tricks.
They know scams. They know how to, scam us with their cuteness.
That's better. I've been saying that incorrectly all these years.
Yeah.
They know scams.
Yeah.
They know scams.
They're
That's a
little
good
con
point.
artists.
They are.
They're like drunk
Good at it.
midgets con artists. That's what they are. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
or
yeah,
little people. Sorry.
Kids make terrible humans.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Tomato.
Exactly. Well,
Yep.
you know, when it's so funny when you're doing something
God damn it.
and it doesn't matter what you could be putting out a fire to save everyone's life, but if they have something they want to tell you that's important to them, like nothing else in the world matters, they're like, dude, I drew this picture of this circle. You're like, cool, man, cool, fire. They're like, yeah, you're not looking. Dude,
Yeah.
you're not looking. Be like, do you not see the fire in which I'm attempting to put out to
Oh my
save
God.
everybody? Dad, the circle. Just Dad, the circle.
I 100% agree with you. Except for, to us, it's it's never a fire. You know, it's something
That's true.
that we are just like today. We were driving home from school, and Archer and Zoe were in the back seat, and everything was calm. We had already talked about how's your day, what'd you do, and I waited until there was 20 seconds of silence, and I turned the music up a little bit. They wanted the windows down, so I rolled the Jeep windows down. We're cruising. I turn on a nice, chill, beautiful song. I get the volume all the way up to the perfect level, and the first verse
11.
kicks in, and then Archer's like, Dad! I'm like, oh my God. Okay, so I pause it, roll the windows back up so I can hear him because he's mumbling. And he's like,
sure.
When we get home, can we find some pens so we could draw? I'm like, yeah, buddy. And I just look at him in the mirror. Is that it? Yeah. I'm like, okay, so the windows come back down, the music starts back up, and it was 10 seconds later. Dad, my popcorn's on the floor. I can't reach it. Oh my God.
Dude, I know. And it never ends. That's
No.
the thing. It never ends.
Mm-hmm.
Or the popcorn on the floor. It's oh, I need this other thing that only you can do for me. It's yeah. Just literally give me 10 seconds because I'm doing this other thing or whatever. And and 10 seconds in their mind is a tenth of an actual second. They're like, dude, you didn't do the thing. I'm like, yeah. You got to give me, just go. I'll get it. Just, you got to go fuck off for a second and I'll come back to it. And we'll accomplish this task of getting you whatever.
Dude, I'm driving down the interstate at 75 miles an hour. What do you want me to do about your fucking popcorn on the back floor? Are you going to eat it? Do I need to clean it up right now? What?
The in the car stuff kills me. I totally agree. Cass will do something, literally throw his toy away from him, and be like, Dad, can you get the? I'm like, I'm literally driving right now. No, man, I cannot turn around and find your toy that you just purposefully threw away from yourself. Dad, the toy, the toy.
That's why.
Oh my God.
I think we should just accept as a society that all kids should start lithium right around like 18 months. Like just a nice healthy
Just
dose.
dose them a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lithium
Yeah.
all day for
Just drank 'em a
breakfast.
little.
And then some Benadryl at night. And no, everything we all be less stressed out. They'll be less stressed out. We'll be less stressed out.
Yeah. Put some headphones on them so they learn things and stuff.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at night, you just tuck them into their cage and everything's fine.
Have you ever seen The Jacket with Adrian Brody, where he goes into the insane asylum?
Oh, no. I know what you're talking about.
You haven't seen that?
But no. Is it worth watching?
Yes. It's one of it's like a hidden gem to me. It never was like a huge, like big, hit. But
Yeah.
I've probably watched it 20 times in my life.
Well, oh, dude, I'll watch it then.
Yeah, it's got Keira Knightley in it. Like,
I'm definitely sold then.
yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, that's
100%.
Put that on your list, like ASAP. It's really, really good. Anyways, they lock him in this like mortuary, like where they put the dead bodies. The thing slides out like the drawer for the dead bodies, and he's in a straitjacket, and they shoot him up full of all these like experimental drugs in the straitjacket, and then shove him in the drawer all night.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So he's just tripping balls?
Yeah, and he comes out pretty much like a walking, coma patient, like a chemical lobotomy. That's
Wait,
just.
did you spoil alert me the whole movie?
No, that's like the first 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Whew.
So
God.
there's huge twists, but
Oh, good. Okay. I thought I was about to start flipping stuff right over here.
No.
I was like, I just told you I'd watch it, and now you spoiler alerted me.
No, but I mean that's literally like the first night. I think that he's in the place.
I gotta watch this.
Oh,
I'm
so
excited
good.
now.
But
I remember
that's what we
being
need to do with our
excited about it at
children.
the
We
time.
just need like straight
That's all.
jackets, chemical injections, and just lockers, man.
No big deal.
Tomorrow,
No big deal.
the Children Protection Agency is gonna be kicking in my door now.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
CPS
It's
is
a
all
joke.
over that shit. Come on, people, take a hint.
Yeah.
It's fine. The feds are listening. They're gonna tip them off and all that shit.
Yeah.
CPS. Hello, sir. We heard you were gonna chemically lobotomize your children and
Too
place them in a
late.
straitjacket.
Yeah.
Joke's on you, bro.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Good stuff.
Speaking of chemical lobotomizing,
Here comes confession time.
yeah. So I've been doing this thing every morning.
I thought that was chemical
Okay, I don't
castration.
even know. I don't even know. Yeah, that was a Michael Jackson thing. Did you hear the doctor that came out that said like, no, they did that shit to Mikey because they had to keep him the star of the Jackson 5 and keep that voice and all that shit.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about it in private, like the castrato type thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't like heard or read or researched any of that, but man, they did it for hundreds of years. I know, like the what was it, Catholic Church choir boys, they would do that too.
Damn
Castrate
right.
them.
Sure did.
Yeah.
So wait, if you get, I'm gonna be ignorant. So if
Yeah.
you're a eunuch,
Mm-hmm.
does that mean you lose your balls but you have a dick?
No, I think that's like everything.
Oh, eunuch, you just go full piss tube or something?
Yeah, it's just like a.
Oh God, they turn you into fucking what's her name? Oh
No, I'm not touching that.
no,
but
you know what I'm talking about,
yeah.
Jenner.
Yeah, no, I
Kendall?
think
No,
they.
what's the
I
one's
think
name?
Bruce.
Did Bruce chop his dick off?
He had the whole surgery to become an actual she, like
Oh,
the
wow.
parts like produced, to have.
They grew a vagina on a.
I think it was constructed using leftover parts of
No,
the
I've seen that
peni.
shit on the fucking internets and the like digital animated version of what
sure
they
you
do
have. I'm
to
sure you
turn.
have.
Oh, dude, to turn like a dick into.
And on the 13th viewing of it, I realized,
Dude, that shit was so fucking gnarly, man.
dude, I don't even want to know. Like I'm, hey,
Dude,
to each
you
his own, to each his own. But no,
That shit was
that's
crazy, man.
outside of my comfort zone. So
It wasn't real, so you can kind of like you can like parse it off a little bit. It wasn't as cringeworthy because it wasn't like a real dick. It was just like some animated shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how I came across it. It must have been floating around on the internet. It's like on Facebook or something. I was like, well, I have to watch this.
Yeah.
It was fucking nuts.
I have a low threshold for anything that's like medical gore is not my thing.
Oh, that's tough. Dude, the Dr. Pimple Popper,
Nope.
I don't know how people watch that shit, dude.
No, I don't know.
I had a very close person to me that was super obsessed with that, and it was cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nope. That's...
Oh.
It's a big thing. I mean, there's a lot of people that are into it, obviously.
Dude, she's famous as fuck for that.
I didn't know
Dr.
you were actually
So
talking
or
about
whatever.
a person, but...
Dude, there's a woman called Dr. Pimple Popper on like Instagram or some shit. Like, she's famous as fuck. Oh, it's gross.
What am I doing with my life?
I'm not popping enough zits.
I know,
to
man.
get
We should have
famous.
gotten into the fucking zit popping business. Like,
Dude, I'm just saying, if there's something that you are somewhat passionate, if you're passionate about something and you just put it out there, there are going to be people that are
you know what
gonna
I'm
be into it
passionate
too,
about?
man.
I'm passionate about being semi-passionate about a lot of things.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say semi-passionate, like feigning an interest in several avenues.
It's
of
slightly
life.
more than feigning. It's like fleeting interests.
That's true. Yeah. That's good.
But yeah, but I'm passionate about it. There's always
Master of
something I'm
none.
trying to like figure the fuck out for like 10 seconds.
It's true. I've tried a lot of different things and accomplished or mastered zero of them.
No, we're both on the same wavelength on that.
But
I read something recently that was talking about the benefits of the sort of jack of all trades, within societies. There's always a need for that sort of personality, that sort of thought process, people that can kind of see the big picture and pull things together to utilize the specific skill sets of different people that normally wouldn't be able to sort of function coherently together.
interesting.
Yeah, no, I was super excited to read it because I was like, oh shit, so I'm not just,
Speaking to
worthless.
me. Right. I'm not just wasting my time learning trivial shit that I don't actually learn how to do.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. I think it's just like that need for life experience and having all of those things. I'm like, oh, I've done that and that and that and that. I'm not like great at it or anything. But
Yeah.
those people...
A functional understanding. That's what I like. I like a functional understanding of things.
I would feel... That's like most of the things that we talk about here is like we have a semi-functional understanding of a decent amount of relevant topics.
You know what? Actually, next time we do one, we should do like a... not a retraction like episode, but like a corrections and...
Oh my god, dude, ain't no
because
time for that.
there's been like so many things I've went back and done research because sometimes things pop up that we haven't like actually listened to or thought about for years, so it's a little fuzzy.
Yeah.
And then I go and do like 2-3 hours of research after the podcast,
For sure.
and then I'm like, oh, I was way off. But I'm gonna start making a list, and we're gonna have to do an episode like
Samsonite.
yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
there should be something where we're like, so remember the time we said this thing?
Yeah.
But god damn it, we've got like, now we're looking at 17 hours worth of material. That's a lot of shit to go through.
Well, we could just look at the titles and the little breakdowns that you write for them and just kind of be like, oh, you know what? I remember this. And anything that jumps out, we both tend to obsessively think over things. So anything that we really fucked up, I'm sure will jump out right away.
Just glaringly obvious.
Yeah. My space propulsion stuff, I have spent the last 2 days researching all of the different theories about interstellar travel and space propulsion methods.
Well, enlighten me, sir, please.
Oh, I don't want to get into space. That's the whole thing.
So much space stuff.
There's so
I
much
love
space.
talking about space stuff. God
I
damn
do.
it.
We'll have to do another episode about space stuff.
Oh,
And,
we're gonna go full cosmetology on this bitch again. You're
Yeah.
welcome, people.
Yep. Cosmetology, my favorite.
Cosmetology.
So
Yeah, I don't know.
So we were talking earlier. We kind of wanted to hit up some of the issues that we have in. I think that we have more than anywhere else in the Western society with. I don't know how you would classify it. Just antidepressants and especially in the cases of children and the minds that are still, developing, and the long-term effects that it could have.
That's a toughie, man.
And the overprescription, underdiagnosing, overdiagnosing, like it's a massive problem, at least in the U.S. And I would be speaking way out of turn if I tried to talk about other countries. I do know when I lived in Germany, they did the opposite. You could walk in there with your foot cut off, and they would tell you to go home and soak it in some hot water and drink some beer. Yeah, they're not big into like the painkillers. Like, we've gotten used to over the last 20, 30 years, doctors pushing painkillers down our throats.
Right. Yeah.
And 100%. It's not quite like that anywhere else. At least not in the, quote unquote, like first world, countries.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. 'Cause I know like there have been several times where I've had whatever minor outpatient operation or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not several times, but a handful of times, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I feel shitty for a few days, and it'd be nice to have whatever, I don't know, Percocet or whatever the fuck they prescribed you, right?
Yeah, it's usually Percocet or Vicodin.
Or Vicodin, there you go.
Yeah, those are like the two.
Oxycodone or whatever it is.
Yeah, hydrocodone and oxycodone.
Yeah. So, and those things are nice to have like day of, maybe next day, maybe next day. But I know like at the point where it's a few days have gone by and like for my wisdom teeth having been taken out or something like that, they give you like a bottle of fucking drugs. And I'm like, this sucks. It's kind of more of an annoyance than anything. But even still, if there is some pain, it's not something that's so unbearable that it's going to just like ruin my day or I'm not going to be able to function or anything like that I need to be on some sort of like opioid based pain reliever or something. So I know that they're definitely, it seems like they're overprescribed.
They are. Have you seen the 90s? I think it came out right around like 93, 94-ish. I might be off by 1 or 2 years, but whatever. There was a sort of a publicity ad that the pharmaceutical companies pushed out that said that one of the myths was that opioids and painkillers were addictive, and in this ad they marked it as myth. And they pushed it, and that's really the beginning of that crisis that didn't, the bubble on that I don't think burst until like maybe the last 10 years.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, I don't know like the biological implications of why opioids are addictive, like
oh man. Yeah.
No, I just like, if I'm being honest, I don't know the receptors that are affected. I know that whatever, your neurons firing, and I can't remember the actual receptor that opioids affect, and it has to do with the way that they communicate with each other, and it's some sort of an interruption. I was literally just looking at this today too, because I was looking into this alternative medicine called kratom, which comes from a leaf that is from Southeast Asia, is mainly where it grows.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's an all natural supplement. It basically has a very mild stimulating effect, like a cup of coffee, but it's supposed to reduce pain significantly for people that have had problems with pain pill addictions or heroin addictions or anything like that.
My understanding is that and I've had back surgery, and I've had a couple of times where I've been on many months at a time painkillers.
Yeah, buddy.
And I remember I was in Germany maybe 8-9 years ago, and I was having a lot of back pain. I spent a week in the hospital, and they were trying to figure out if they're going to operate or not. But anyway, so after a couple months, my prescription was done. I took it as prescribed, like on the 6 hours, every 6 hours for 6 months, or for 2 months. then that first day, I just, I didn't think about it even. And then about halfway through the day, I just remember thinking like, "Ooh, shit!" Like, it hit me, and I clicked in my mind. I was like, "This is not pleasant," And it was sort of this super high anxiety. The pain that I had been able to kind of push away, and it felt distant, came like rushing back, and it was like, pins and needles in those areas that I had pain that I was taking the meds for. And it took a few days. I mean, I just, did it cold turkey and all that, but, I was not, very social. I tried to sleep that shit off the best I could. So I can only imagine. I mean, I was taking it as prescribed for that period. If you build up a tolerance and take it for even longer periods of time, I can't even imagine like trying to just stop. I totally understand why you go out and you get what you need to kill the secondary layer of symptoms, which is the withdrawals.
Yeah, so I watched a documentary by Chris Bell, who did Bigger, Stronger, Faster, and he's done a few other documentaries, but the one I watched most recently was A Leaf of Faith, which was about kratom, and then prior to that he did a documentary called Prescription Thugs, and he documents his older brother who died from an overdose from opioids. And he goes through, his brother was like, he was a professional wrestler for a time, like WWE type wrestling. And he talks to some of the people that were in that, and they're like, yeah, I have so much pain. There's a guy who takes like, literally he said like 80 pills a day or some crap like that to manage his pain because he just has acute pain all the time. It's just chronic.
That's crazy.
And I do remember when I had my back surgery, I mean, because they give you plenty of pills to last you a goddamn while, which is relatively necessary when you're coming off of something like that. I remember being
totally
in a lot of pain.
But they don't treat it. They just stop you, and then, okay, it's done.
Exactly.
They need to have some kind of in-between. That's one of the big problems.
That was the thing, is like when it stopped, when I ran out and it was done and I wasn't going to be prescribed anymore, I do remember having a feeling of like, holy shit, like it's a good thing that I can't get any more of these. Because it does turn into a problem. And that was before I knew you could apparently go on Craigslist and buy whatever the fuck you want, because somebody's got some unending supply of this shit and they'll sell it, or that's how people have turned from that to heroin, because they can't get the
how crazy is that shit, huh?
Stuff.
Hooked on pharmaceuticals prescribed by your doctor. Can't get them anymore, but you can go out on pretty much any downtown corner and get heroin within an hour. It's it's insane.
Yeah, it's
chalk crazy. One up for the war on drugs. And
well, that was like, even goddamn President Trump came out early in his presidency and declared the opioid epidemic a national emergency. And they haven't done fuck all.
No, nothing.
Instead, you got Jeff Sessions coming out and be like, oh, marijuana users, this, and Schedule 1, kratom's now a Schedule 1 drug, or they were trying to make it a Schedule 1 drug, which is another drug
stupid.
That has no historical...
So I think there have been like single-digit number of deaths associated with it. Like there were prior medical conditions, I believe, in some of them, and mixing it with alcohol or something else. But kratom was also kind of linked. You know what I mean? So that they're using those. But how many people die every goddamn day due to heroin and opioid addictions? And what's the fentanyl? And the elephant
Fentanyl's
tranquilizer.
Insane. Yeah, it's like 1,000 times whatever.
Yeah. Like I think I watched a documentary and they said like a grain like the size of a single salt grain would absolutely kill a person without even a question.
Yeah, it's something insane like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's like that happens with
And
all kinds of shit.
That's what killed Prince, right? Like, had fentanyl.
Yep, Prince. Whitney Houston died of an overdose.
Yeah.
Dude, a bunch of celebs.
Yeah, it's insane. It's so backwards. And we have people like Jeff Sessions who, I'm sorry, I don't give a shit what his political affiliations. He could be a socialist Democrat. He could be a right-wing well, he is a right-wing Republican. Yeah. Or anything in between or on the other side of every spectrum. The guy is a fucking moron when it comes to common sense and how real average Americans live and what they need and what they don't need. He has no idea. He is completely clueless. 100% clueless.
Yeah, it's very clearly it should be a nonpartisan issue.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, like, I don't know who Jeff is talking to or who's feeding him any of this information, or maybe he just speaks to God on a regular basis or some shit that tells him that drugs are bad and okay.
I think Pence does, and then Pence
definitely
debriefs the entire, the table at the morning
staff.
Yeah.
He can't be left alone with women because his magic panties will get in a bunch or some shit.
Yeah. No, he's not Mormon.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. Whatever. You can't say Mormon, bro. You got to say Latter-day Saints, man.
No,
Ease up on that shit.
No, I don't have to. I'm good.
2 strikes. Bro. Midget and Mormon, you're double Ming right now.
What if you had
okay with that.
Mormon midget? Was that like...
bro, what are you doing right now?
What if you had a Mormon midget tranny, man? Like could you even talk to that person?
Well, they also have to be black and...
What? Oh, now you're going into a weird place. I'm pulling out of this conversation.
No, I thought we were going with a very like tiny little minority group of like give them all of the.
Oh, I see what you're doing. You're parsing out into the minorities. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I was like, make them the smallest of the minorities right now.
And they're part of
a black Mormon midget. Like, holy fuck.
The
you and your other buddy. That's it.
Buddhist movement in Myanmar, and they're also incels.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't talk about them.
God, that would be an angry little person, man.
I would, document that shit. I'll follow you around with the camera.
Yeah. No shit, man. That would be an interesting goddamn TV show. Netflix, get on that.
You're just going to see people wide-eyed, open-mouthed, just staring. Be like, is that all you filmed? Be like, that's all we could get. They wouldn't fucking stop, man.
Oh, that's great.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I just had this moment where that person's name was Chevy Chase for some reason in my head.
Oh, God. No,
little Chevy Chase. Little black Mormon little person Chevy Chase just running around.
Wow.
I don't know why that happened. Love you, Chevy.
This sounds like a character off of almost like Rick and Morty, like in one of the dimensions, like this bizarre version of all these people.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the actual crisis in the world.
I don't know, man. That person is living a daily crisis. And come on, man.
You know what? And they would probably be overprescribed antidepressants and go out and commit a crime. And it wouldn't be blamed on all of these other things. It'd be blamed on the antidepressants.
It'd be the Yeah. Yeah, well, I fucking hate hearing when someone comes up and says, oh, this person was on antidepressants. That must have been why they acted out.
Okay.
Aggressively or whatever the fuck. So let's take school shootings for an example.
I feel like you have like this pent up rage like in your chest that you're releasing right now.
I do. That was really deep and it like felt good and bad at the same time.
Yeah.
There's a very prominent person that I highlight so many times on this fucking podcast that just kills me to no end with his like
Ben Shapiro.
Ignorance. Oh, well, huge fan. Ben, if you're
Are you kidding me?
Holla at your boy. What?
I fucking hate that guy.
Oh, Ben, what?
He's so disingenuous.
I don't think he's that bad.
He's the worst. He's the worst.
Really?
Yep.
well,
He's the worst.
I mean, I disagree with a lot of the shit that he says.
He's like an intelligent Alex Jones.
Oh God, what?
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
that's too far, even for fucking Ben Shapiro.
No, he's a smart guy, but he totally uses it to
smart.
cash in on identity politics.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I see it. I look at him and he's cashing in on identity politics by using his intelligence and his education and his status. You know, he was lucky and fortunate, and it's not knocking him, but he, had a very good education. He had a very good upbringing, and he's intelligent, and he did the work also, and he's cashing in by playing identity politics.
But you don't think
that's the difference. That's the distinction I make. Like, good on him. But you don't think that
he believes the things that he says?
I don't know. And, there's a thing with pathological liars and just,
oh, yeah.
Buying into, over a period of time, your own rhetoric, your own celebrity. And that's kind of what I was trying to touch on with Jordan Peterson, who I truly actually admire a lot of his work, especially his psychology and his breakdowns, historical sort of decomposition of the Bible and those series. Like, I absolutely love it. And but I put them in
well-educated man.
I put them in completely different categories because I think one is sincere in his efforts and the other one is cashing in.
So I would say that a big difference that I see between the two of them. So I don't see Ben Shapiro as being disingenuous. I don't. Like I said, I don't agree with a lot or most of the things that he says, but I don't think he's necessarily saying them just out of rhetoric or him not actually believing the things that he's saying. Where I think the big difference that I see between Jordan and Ben Shapiro is that Jordan, whether or not you agree with him, is actually trying to like improve humanity. Yeah. That's like his end goal.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Even the things I don't agree with him on, I can agree with that statement.
Right. So yeah, even if you don't agree with him, I think his end goal is to have like a positive outcome for people and everything. I don't think Ben Shapiro has any fucking inclination of anything like that. I think he just spews what he believes. It happens to be a lot of counterculture things for a progressive side of everybody, but I don't think that he's lying. I don't think he's the Alex Jones of like. I don't think he's going out there and just saying things
I said he's the
believe.
Smart man's Alex Jones. That's what I'm saying.
But what does that mean? Like, so, okay. That's tough. What the fuck is a smart man's Alex? What is Alex Jones with a brain? I feel like that's a Chinese proverb right there that you'll never be able to understand, or like a Chinese riddle or some shit.
Yep.
Oh, this is the smart Alex Jones. You're like, this is gonna take me a minute. Hold on.
The way I look at it is, do you think Alex Jones believes the alien dimensional beings are?
Absolutely not.
No,
absolutely.
He's running with it. He's banking on his audience and his following and just playing it up to the max to get everything he can while he can.
Yeah.
However,
he's got to sell those.
And he's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. I don't care. Like, even if everything he said were to be just a complete act, he's still a piece of shit because he crossed so many goddamn lines of decency.
He's not a good human.
Right?
He's not a good human. Yeah.
And Ben Shapiro, in my personal opinion, is much, 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 much more intelligent and much more educated and experienced in especially the field of politics, than Alex Jones. I think that's not even debatable, right? But the end game for both of them is the same. It's to get fame and money and success through identity politics. If you listen to Ben Shapiro, he will talk about the left wing this, Hillary that. You know, he does condemn. I've listened to him, and he does condemn Trump.
I was just gonna say that.
You know, he does condemn Trump, and
he even just.
But he embraces he embraces the party as a whole. The party which has been co-opted by Trump, he still is trying to embrace. I think he's smart enough to see that Trump is a temporary insanity of our country, and so he's hedging his bets early. It's like a long-term, investment, but at the same time, he's still ultimately playing to the same crowd. And that's just my opinion. I know I kind of hijacked this on my own little rant about Ben Shapiro, but I can't stand the guy. I don't believe him.
No, it's fine. So, all right, well, I do disagree to some extent. I don't think that he is pervasively lying like Alex Jones does. I think that he has his own views. I agree with that.
But the ideology, he spews ideological rhetoric for his benefits. Alex Jones will just make out crazy shit. That's a big difference too.
Yeah. Damn. I don't know. There are things that I agree with Ben Shapiro about.
Like what?
That's the thing. I don't know. It was just, I don't know.
I'm going to put you on the spot, motherfucker. Like, you put me on when I was like, I'm worried about Jordan Peterson.
You dug your own grave with that shit.
No, but I want to hear what you agree with Ben Shapiro on. Give it to me.
No, I don't know. I wish I had a good reference.
I know, right? It's such an uncomfortable position that you're in right now.
Yeah. Well, I didn't necessarily do this to myself, but.
No, but I'm asking. I truly do want to know. I mean, all kidding aside.
I agree. I wish I had something specific to come up with. No, but I know I've listened to several of his lectures, and while I don't agree with a lot of the things that he says, like, not all of it is bullshit. Like, the things that he says, and even citing statistics and stuff like that, like, he's a smart guy.
Yep.
And he doesn't fucking go out there and just create bullshit out of nowhere.
No. The best lies have truth woven throughout them. Like, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's like anything. You can take certain ideas and facts, truth is not truth, and you fucking can skew them to what you need them to be. But I do know, like, I guarantee that there is no way that you can listen to hours of content from Ben Shapiro and sit here and say, like, I completely 100% disagree with everything that he's ever said. Like, there's no fucking way you're coming out of this.
No, he said things that I've been like, that's reasonable. And, I've listened to it and I'm like, that's reasonable.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's all I'm saying.
And then he gets to a point, I'm like, whoa. That doesn't connect. You're leading your audience down a path of reason, and then you just skip over a critical point.
No, yeah. I mean, that's like...
It's a sleight of hand.
Even him saying stuff like white privilege is a myth, or I don't know, certain things like that. And then he'll cite statistics about how like black on black crime is really the downfall of that community. And then African American fathers not being in the household. You're like, all right, hold on. We can take this back real quick.
Yeah. There's some other circumstances if you want to get into it. With why black fathers aren't in as many households. And a lot of it has to do with, in some states, more than 1 in 5 black men in Florida are convicted felons and have been locked up for felonies. So before you go there, let's talk about, like, maybe some, hundreds of years of oppression and slavery and just in the very blink of an eye.
Racism.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And that's where... Like,
that's why I say it's disingenuous, because he has to know that. He has to know that in his mind as he's saying those things.
Yeah, maybe, probably. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe even still he's like, too bad, you should, whatever. I don't fucking know.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps?
Yeah, that's such a toughie, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Just because you've never, God, that's a terrible thing to say to somebody.
Yeah, it is.
Get the fuck over it. Get the fuck over it and fucking do better. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. And that even ties into, like, what we've talked about previously, like people like that, even somebody coming from good circumstances, like you don't fucking understand what it's like to have this nagging, depressant monkey fucking sitting on your shoulder that tells you like, you fucking suck, bro. You can't do that today. Even simple shit.
Yep.
So like, and then to extrapolate that onto someone who has had a life filled with institutional racism, which is very well fucking documented and not something that can be argued.
And different things, different degrees, you know, whether it's like, you know, just a 2% disadvantage in the, you know, shallow end and a, you know, 70% disadvantage in some aspects of life. Like there are varying degrees of institutional racism and it exists.
Yeah. And it doesn't.
It's not, and to be fair, it's not just a United States problem. In the United States, it's primarily a problem with African Americans because of the specific history. But in all societies where there's a minority and a majority, there's similar type of conflicts and issues that go on.
No, honestly, like
it's a humanity problem.
Right. It's because we're in the U.S. It's highlighted for certain groups of people because we are a melting pot of different ethnicities. But if you went to fucking China with 1 billion Chinese people and you're like the random white guy that's trying to get a job or black or whatever the fuck, like that's going to be a tough go, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But that might be a tough fucking go at that shit.
Yeah. I think you're right. It is different with the United States because we pride ourselves on being a melting pot and so many different races, ethnicities have contributed in so many different ways, often at the cost of their own lives, you know, whether it be obviously, slavery and everything that slavery built in this country. And then the Chinese immigrants and how they were used and abused, you know, for a very long time. The railroads, like everything, you know. Mexicans, how we treated them and pretty much stole property from the Native Americans. The Irish, when the Irish came over during the famines in Ireland and they arrive in the docks in New York literally starving to death. And they say the only way we were feeding you is if you, as you walk off this boat, you sign this piece of paper that says you're going to go off and fight in a civil war. And you don't know what the fuck is going on. You just need some food so you don't die right then and there. Yep. Like this country's hands are bloody. And not to say I don't love it and that the ideals that we are all striving for aren't grand and close to what we should all be wanting for each other, our brothers and sisters in life. But there's blood, and we have to acknowledge it, man. We have to.
Yeah.
And then we have to acknowledge that there's institutional racism.
I had like this really intense moment the other night. Maybe intense isn't the right word. It's pretty fucking close. Where I was sitting here and I was trying to, whatever the fuck I was watching sparked this in me, and I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, it really fucking dawned on me super hard. Like, trying to be a black man or woman, like, in this culture. And 60 years ago, you were, like, a seriously persecuted person who had so many of your rights that didn't even fucking exist. It's not like they were taken away. They just were never fucking given to you in the first place.
Yeah.
And incrementally, you were given those things. Like, dude, and I sit back sometimes, I go, like, come on, man. Like, why are you so angry? And then I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, fuck yeah. I don't blame you for still being angry, bro. Like, damn. Yeah, and then and then all the institutional things that are brought along with that, and then people telling you to pull your fucking self up by your bootstraps, or hey, that wasn't me, that was another generation.
By your bootstraps while you're tethered to the ground, like.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I was like, dude, I don't blame you for being fucking skeptical of all of the people that you come in contact with. Like, even if it wasn't directly, and I would assume that most people have some sort of direct, they've had some sort of direct interaction with somebody being racist or something towards them, which I've never had a fucking issue with ever, I don't think. And
you've never had any racial tension
even
or
if I ever
interactions?
did, I could just be like, well, I don't give a shit.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not saying
that.
you've perpetrated anything. I'm just saying, but you've never had any tense interactions revolving around race in your life? I'm just out of curiosity. That's all I'm asking.
No, I was thinking more like somebody being racially oppressive against me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what I meant.
I have been beat up when I was a kid. Oh, I grew up in a pretty shitty area, and
I grew up in Monterey, bro.
Yeah, I was in much more of a white people were outnumbered by the combined minority groups where I grew up. And,
no, Monterey, bro.
And I remember, I would say at least 3 times before I moved away to Nebraska, which that was in 8th grade. Being beat up, and and basically they pretty much said, like, white boy this, or whatever, and just one time, twice it was Mexicans. One time it was this black dude named Damien that I turned around, looked up at him, and it seemed to be fucking 10 feet tall to my 4-foot ass, and knocked me out. I woke up and just blood everywhere. And I was the only white guy on the basketball court. So when I committed a foul or whatever, he was, I was clearly an object of anger, in that case. But my point is, I didn't take those life lessons, if you will, and turn them into anger or hate or, anything negative. They stung and they confused me because I didn't act like that, and I didn't feel like that in my heart against anybody. And it was only in the last 10 years where I really was able to kind of understand it. Like, these people that did these things to me had reasons that they were angry. I'm not saying it was right. It's not the right way to do it, but there were reasons. Not. Right. And I'm okay with it. Not that they care or remember me even, but in my own heart, it's important for me. I forgive them, and I'm over it, and I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's a tough thing too when people try to and I understand empathy or trying to sympathize with people, but when it's to a degree of something like that, you'd be like, oh man, I get it. It's like, dude, there's no fucking way you get that shit. Even me or anybody else sitting there and trying to rationalize these things and be like, oh, well, you went through X, Y, and Z, so that would be cause for this or a reason for you to feel this way. It's like, dude, you still don't fucking get it, on a visceral level of how it actually affects you on a day-to-day basis, or mentally or anything like that,
Yep.
So I don't know. Damn it, Ben Shapiro.
I know, man. Fuck it. And you know what? It's Ben Shapiro. It's his fault. It's his fault.
I know. Are you blaming the Jews right now? Is that what you're doing?
Is he Jewish?
Oh, he's Jewish as
fuck. Are you saying that just because his last name is Shapiro?
Dude, he's Jewish as fuck, bro.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you're right.
He wears a yarmulke everywhere.
I just got a vision of his face wearing it. Yeah.
Dude, he's Jewish as fuck, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so what? Who cares? I've got Jewish blood in me. I'm good with it. I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
I'm an atheist anyway, so I detest all religions equally, except for my newfound love, which is the Church of Satan. Right? Is that how?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, because it's
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. This tongue-in-cheek, the Church of Satan, and their whole purpose is to promote separation of church and state and secularism.
Dude, I was thinking about that shit.
So we need to get on our fucking Satan on the shelf.
Oh, yeah, we do. Oh, that's coming, everybody. We have so many things in the works that none of you know about.
Yeah, it's
hopefully
coming.
Will one day. They're going to be glorious things.
Between being full-time, part-time / a lot of time dads and working and
so much
education stuff. And just trying
the fact that we can get at least one episode out a week is a fucking miracle.
It is kind of a miracle. This is the most commitment I've had to anything.
I know. If we can stick to a schedule and do 2 a week on their specific days, it's a fucking miracle.
Even that week that we didn't put out anything, we recorded 4. We just had...
We did.
we had numerous issues.
For anyone thinks that the technical issue things was bullshit, We had like 5 episodes recorded.
Yeah, I
that
think
just
3 of them were technical. 2 of them, one of them was an Ambien-induced technicality.
Clips coming later.
Yeah.
Don't worry, that gem is fucking somewhere in the bank.
Oh, God. I got
that shit.
Yeah.
No, yeah. No, but okay, so the church and state thing. I was like, fucking schools give kids days off for religious stuff, right? And I was like, okay, maybe it's a practical thing, and I shouldn't be so concerned about the church and state thing, because you're like, oh, well, if it's a religious holiday, maybe half the students aren't going to show up anyway, so what the fuck is the point of holding class? And so we'll just tack it on to the end of the year, and we'll give you this day off. But it still raised a strange question in my head as to, like, wait, what are we doing right now? But then I'm like, I want my kids to have goddamn Christmas off or whatever, just because that's a day to celebrate.
You know, and the way I describe, because, you know, I know I've said it before. I'm an atheist / agnostic.
Wait, what?
What? So, you know, I describe
I'd like to go by Christ from now on.
Christ, yeah. That is short for Christopher. So
it is.
I used that recently.
Referred to as Christ.
I used that once, like since the last time we talked about it. I forgot who it was.
Did you? That's amazing.
This random girl, I don't even know, like hit me up on Facebook, and I had never talked to her before, and she's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And said something, and I was like, "Well, actually, I go by Christ." It was my dad's choice. Like, you know, I think that was the Ambien night, actually, late at night, because I was reading through it the next day and kind of like laughing my ass off at myself, but.
So many good Ambien antics.
Yeah, god damn it. Fucking the Ambien walrus. But, what was I going to say, man? Like, I was...
Damn it, I don't know now.
I'm like, I'm an atheist. Oh, so the way I handle Christmas and the way I justify to myself, I guess, or to other people that inquire, well, if you're atheist, if you don't believe in it, why do you celebrate Christmas?
Bitch, I love Christmas.
It's an American cultural holiday.
Yeah, dude.
It's not just American. It's a cultural holiday.
Yeah, bro.
If you want to break it down, it has nothing to do with Christianity in the long run. Like, we can go that route. That's a lie. And I've gone through all of that shit. Like, I can break every goddamn like little thing down about Christmas, but it's just a holiday, man. Episode. It's just, you know, it's a cultural thing. We just do it. The kids love it. Like, I don't need to be spiteful just to be like, no, Jesus was born in the springtime according to, like, you know, the astrologist. Like, yeah, you know, we get it. Like, it's all bullshit. But the kids love it, and it's part of our culture. Like,
dude,
it's good enough.
Easter is one of Vinny's favorite fucking holidays because he gets to go find hidden eggs, which is fun as shit. And they're filled with, like, little prizes or candy. Yeah. Like, I'm not sitting there and be like, hey, you know, this holiday is based on some bullshit about some guy getting fucking murderized and then not being murderized, right, Vin? Like, come on. We're going to watch The Passion of the Christ every day until Easter to count down. No, I know he's being massacred and it's tragic and nobody should ever watch this, but... don't avert your eyes, son, because this is the meaning of the rabbit holiday.
Yeah, and then right after Passion of the Christ, play the Mel Gibson clip of him being pulled over and blaming the Jews for everything.
Being drunk? Yeah. Fucking... When you said that, I don't know why, but I thought of Hasselhoff being drunk as fuck on the floor.
Eating the
trying
cheeseburger.
To eat a burger.
Yeah. Classic. You know what? That's what fucking freaks me out when I take Ambien to sleep. Like, I'm like, God damn it, I'm going to be Hasselhoff. Like, I'm going to do... I have done things. Luckily, they haven't been...
super hard.
If there had been some assholes that I associate with, luckily I'm a introverted, cave-dwelling person, so nobody's around to video record me when I'm doing this shit. But I've woken up with, like, little burn scars of cooking, like, bacon randomly at, like, 4 a.m. and shit, like, naked.
You just have little, like, oil blisters all over your fucking arm and shit.
Yeah, well, you know, I've done this so often, I have a whole technique for cooking bacon naked. Like, you know, with the way I hold the lid and I turn it sideways and, yeah. Anyways, there's tongs and it's a mess.
It's so ridiculous.
But,
you know, I love you, little... Oh,
This is too much information, man.
They're gold.
Yeah.
They're gold.
But yeah, man, Hasselhoff's awesome.
Fucking, I don't know. I went straight. Oh my god! And then I just got a glimpse of that fucking one kid being like, "Leave Britney alone." There was a weird era of YouTube becoming like a real thing.
Yep.
Like kids don't understand that now. Like when I talk to Vinny, he's like, "Oh, let's watch this thing." He just sees it as another media platform and like just a TV channel of we can watch things on this. But YouTube used to be fucking just, I don't even know, like real hard, dirty uploads that people put out.
Yeah.
Now it's all polished and it's like almost networky and stuff. People have shows. But dude, it used to be grimy. YouTube used to just be whatever dirt fucking video you had.
It was like the end of the internet for a long time. It was like whatever videos we can just entertain these people that have gone through every other internet site with. We'll just load up fucking cat videos and compilations and weird ramblings of psychopaths. And that was it.
That's what we do.
Yep.
That's what we do.
It was a lot of cat videos, man. A lot.
Oh, 100%, dude. 100. Cats, children, David Hasselhoff being shit-faced on the floor.
Yep.
The Hoff, man. The Hoff.
Don't hassle the Hoff. Yeah, no. It was good times. It was a golden age for anybody that got in on the ground floor and started their branding, you know. I would say, late 2000s would have been a great time to start your branding?
Yeah. I don't know, man. That's a good question. I'm going back to like high school. But I don't even think YouTube was a super huge thing when I was in high school.
No.
Was it?
It was just a thing, you know, like it was there,
existed.
But I mean, not for me. I'm like, what, 5 years older, 6 years, maybe five or 6 years older than you. So
yeah, something like that. But that's true. I think even when I was in high school, like YouTube legit was just, it was more of less of a media platform and like, I can upload my shit here, and then I could tell people to watch it, like my family or friends or some crap.
Yeah.
And then it turned into, I don't know.
Dude, I'm the last, like my generation. So recently, I'd say 3 months ago or whatever, I read a thing that an article that coined the term for a micro generation between Generation X and the millennials, which I fall into. A zennial or something like that. And it, had all these definitions, it pretty clearly defined it. And I really identified with it, obviously, because it was my generation growing up, but it was like an in-between generation, in between these massive, like you were born and your adolescence, like super adolescence was in like analog world, but your, high school and adult life was all in a digital world. So, you went out and played with rocks as a little kid, but, in high school, you were on the fucking internet and doing all this other shit. Like, so you were kind of that last generation to have both worlds, pre and post, this breakthrough in society and technology and connectivity around the globe.
Yeah. That's a real thing. I remember buying fucking cassettes, and that's a real thing that kids probably don't do anymore.
No,
but little boys, no shit, go out and throw fucking rocks at each other.
Yep.
That was a real thing that we did, and you would just do it until someone got hit in the
pellet
face.
Guns at each other in orchards.
Yeah, that's another fucking thing too. Like, you'd be surprised. Wait, full pellet guns?
Oh,
Were they
dude.
BB guns?
I had this pellet gun, this high-powered Chinese, like,
There's a difference between
gun.
pellet and BB guns,
I know.
by the way, people.
I had the ones that were fucking, like, had the points, too. I didn't, like, pull punches.
Get the fuck out of here. You had armor-piercing pellet gun?
I shot this dude from 70 yards away that was up on the levee running down the tracks, and I was in the apple orchard down below. I shot him in the ankle. He had to go to the ER to have that shit surgically removed.
Dude, it's true, man. We were fucked up as kids, dude. Yeah, we had all... But, I mean, that was... Yeah, we would literally sit in, like, dirt mounds or wherever in somebody's backyard or out, like, in the trees, and we would just fucking huck rocks at each other till somebody got hurt enough to where the game ended.
Yeah.
And that was it.
It only ended because it was like, oh, shit, we're all fucked.
We're going to get in trouble. That was it.
Disperse.
Yeah. It wasn't like, oh my God, Billy's fucking dying. It was like, oh, Billy got hit in the face and he's bleeding. Like, clearly we can only do so much to hide this right now.
Yeah.
We're going to be in trouble.
Oh, the good old days, right?
Dude, that shit is real.
Yeah. I don't want my
That shit is
kids grown up.
totally real.
I'm glad they're growing up in the age they are in many ways.
I guess so, right?
Dude, I almost died so many times as a kid.
Dude, yeah, I've thought about that too, man. Like, I did all kinds of dumb shit.
Dude, I got lost. I grew up for a big chunk of my childhood, like out in the foothills of like Northern California and the mountains and
Hell
these
yeah.
tiny little towns with just little creeks and trees and mountains and forests and, I mean, that you could just get completely lost. And I would get lost. It would be a Saturday morning. I would get up, no parents awake in the house. I'd just walk out the door and just go behind the house and there's a creek. And one morning I just went out and followed it. I was 7 years old, I think. 6, 7,
What?
8, maybe 8 at the max. And I just followed this creek and like went out and just
Jesus.
gone all day. I was collecting what I called volcanic rock because it would, kind of look like that. And about, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 hours into it, I realized that I had no idea where I was, like which forks in the creek I followed. And so I followed them back and then I ended up in this field and there were wild horses and shit. And I was just laying by this tree thinking I was going to die in this field. I came
That's a
back.
pretty good way to go.
And I came back just before fucking dark. Like dinner was cooking on the table and I miraculously found my way home. And I just walked in and my mom was like, "Oh, you
hey,
hungry?" Like, God damn, Mom, I'm 7.
Bitch,
I
you don't
almost
even know.
died 3 times today.
I talked to this horse. He was talking back.
Yeah.
I got hungry because I ate some mushrooms. I don't fucking know. I had a wild day, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any stories like that.
Well, you were in Monterey. Like,
That's true.
Yeah.
Hard knock streets of Monterey.
yeah. The worst thing you had to worry about is the fucking a hobo picking you up out of a corner or something of an
Whoa,
alley.
dude. Whoa. We have nice hobos, probably. I don't know.
So,
I
yeah,
always feel bad.
I assume some of them are nice people, but
Probably.
a lot of them are rapists and
A lot of that's science, dude. It's
just science,
statistically
man.
proven.
Just
There have been
science.
polls taken from hobos, like, how
That's what she
rapey
said.
and or homicidal are you?
on a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm
instead of
easily
like
an 8 or 9.
instead of a happy face to a sad face, it's like a chub, like to like a little limp hanging to the left to like a full on raging.
How
fucking
erect
horse
are
cock.
you when you see children run by your hobo stand?
The horse cock is 11 pounds. Yeah.
God damn.
And a 0 is just fucking a eunuch, like.
Full eunuch.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was very confused by all of that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what a eunuch is, or someone who's like castrato, or like when is it just the balls or just the dick? Like nobody cuts the dick and leaves the balls. That's
Now,
silly.
I want to clarify. This is just my understanding that a eunuch has nothing and a castration is balls, which
Just
I'm
balls,
pretty
yeah.
sure is the way it is. But I haven't actually researched into this.
You know, the worst thing is I really just default to Game of Thrones when I try to figure out who's a eunuch or what a eunuch is.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
well, what the fuck is
Well,
what's his
I mean,
name?
when Littlefinger was talking to the spider, he asked him about that. He was like, "Hey,
Right.
when you pee, do you just sit down and does it just fall out?" Like,
Yeah.
So then I was like, "Oh, I think I was right."
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean,
yeah.
that's where I get my medical information from, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
What would that be, sir?
Milk of the poppy. I mean, we touched on that at the beginning of it, the opium.
We did.
Yeah.
It all comes back to Game of Thrones, people.
Do, 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 do. Oh, I can't think.
That's not right.
No, I know. I should know it because for many reasons, but also it popped up on my Spotify. Most played songs of 2017 was the Game of Thrones
What?
soundtrack,
Wow, that's crazy.
and also the Westworld.
Dude, I
opening
still haven't
credits.
watched season 2, but we'll save that for another episode.
Yeah, you gotta watch that shit.
Giant piece of shit. I gotta watch The Jacket. All right.
All right,
Two
watch The
things to
Jacket.
take away from this podcast. Watch The Jacket and don't be a fucking asshole.
Yeah, don't be an
That's
asshole.
it. That's all
good.
you. That's all you need in life. Just don't be an asshole.
And if you're driving, please, if you're going slow, just get in the right lane, please. Please. God, please.
I agree. That's a huge issue here in Maryland.
That's yeah.
People drive like fucking assholes.
Get in the
It
right
doesn't
lane.
make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
There are 3 fucking lanes. Why are you in the one that's for the least slow?
God, just get over in a line if you're all going the same speed limit. If you want to pass the person, get in the left, pass them.
I know. That left lane should just be open all the time. That should be a very infrequently used lane.
It should be.
Just for people that are fucking hauling ass or just going around or whatever.
If you're doing like 110, you can stay in the left lane. If you're doing the speed limit +1, get in the fucking right lane.
Yeah, be anywhere else, basically, bro. Be anywhere else.
Yeah. And
I think we'll end on
that's a good message, man.
That is good. So everybody take that to the fucking bank. Be nice to each other, and if you're gonna drive slow, be in the right lane, asshole.
Yes.
That's all. That's all that you need in life, really.
That is.
What else is fucking required of you?
I don't know, like taking
the
care
rest
of
is easy, bro.
kids and
Come on, man. Be better at this shit, people.
Be better. That's a good message.
That's all right. The sun's gonna explode soon, and it don't fucking matter.
But until the sun explodes, be better.
Yeah, that's all. All right, y'all. Fucking love you. Be good to each other, like we just said, and don't fucking drive slow in the left lane, assholes.
Peace out.
All right, that episode for today. I think that's a pretty solid way to start out the week. And Thursday we'll have more gloriousness for your earballs. So get ready for that. Thank you so much for listening. If you're enjoying what we're doing, please share, subscribe, like, and comment. The whole purpose of what we're doing with all of these episodes and the things that we talk about for the most part is to elicit some sort of discussion. So if you guys are throwing stuff in the comment sections, you want anything to be addressed or something for us to talk about or revisit, or you have questions for us, we will definitely answer those for you in our next episodes. And yeah, so stay engaged for sure. And we'll keep pumping out episodes that hopefully you're enjoying. If there's anything you want us to talk about, let us know. Let's do that. Thank you so much for listening. Me and Chris appreciate the fuck out of all of you. And please, as always, continue to be good to each other. And we'll see you next time.